Let's play a game, shall we?
Hey there, and welcome to Dirty Hills. This isn't a traditional game like I would normally play, it's just for the fun of it. Basically, it's to test out I guess to show off this terrain deformation engine, and I'm gonna try it out. It looks pretty promising, at least in the screenshots. Check this out. Okay, nothing's really happening, but, oh, whoa, man, once you get into the mud, look at that. That is freaking cool right there. It is deforming. I can't tell if that's... It's probably making new triangles as it goes. It's probably how it's doing it. That is still really cool. Especially considering it looks this good while running reasonably well on my PC. Obviously, this isn't running on ultra setting. It's running on medium, so the texture quality isn't as good as it could be. But hey, I've only got a 512 megabyte video card. So, you know, cut me some slack maybe. It still looks really damn good, especially the deformation part. I'm guessing the guy is advertising it. I think maybe the person who made this also made the deformation asset package, probably, and might just be trying to market it with this free game, but, you know, it's still a really cool tech demo just to show it off. It is pretty damn impressive. What happens if I crash into this? Oh, okay. I guess it's a little bit like big rigs. Big rigs. Oh, holy crap. Did I just get stuck? I'm stuck. Oh, okay, here we go. It's all good, because I can brute force my way through, kinda. This is kind of nuts, though. At least I can go through the house, so that won't be a problem once I get to that. But I just have to get that far. Oh crap. Oh crap, am I legit stuck now? This sucks. You know what? This might be a good excuse to turn the game off and then try it in Ultra. It'll probably lag like hell on my system, but hey, anything for you guys. I just hope you enjoy it. Let's check this out. Let's see if it runs at least decently at all. We shall find out. Okay, there is some stuttering. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Probably because even on Ultra, the graphics aren't super ultra amazing, especially on the truck. You can actually see that there is some texture. Okay, it is actually stuttering quite a bit. So maybe I should turn it back to medium. Yeah, it was a nice experiment, but medium isn't all that different graphically. I think, for the most part, it actually just tones down the motion blur, which I'm happy to get rid of. I really couldn't care less. I'm one of those people who thinks that too much motion blur can actually be a bad thing. It's really good in something like Doom 2016, but for something like this, I don't know, for some reason it looks bad. I think it's because Doom 2016 doesn't have camera-based motion blur, so, you know, it doesn't blur the view as you move it around. Actually, there still is motion blur on this, so I guess it didn't really change much in that department. I guess it's because the downgraded graphics make it less noticeable for some reason. Can I get on top of that hill? I would really love to be able to climb that. Unfortunately, okay, if you hold shift, it does do a turbo mode. Okay, that does allow you to climb over, good. I was hoping that wouldn't be all there was. I want to see everything else it has to offer. I remember seeing water in the screenshot, and I believe it's this. Wait, no, this isn't water, this is just more mud. Come on, game. Okay, this is really cool. I mean, the mud is really awesome, but yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I was looking for some water. I'm just gonna play around in the mud a little bit more. You know, it'd be really cool if after playing around in the mud, the truck got really dirty, and then you go into the water, and then it just dissipates. You could probably do that pretty easily. You just have a second texture slapped over it for the mud, and then have its transparency set. I don't know, a factor like the longer you stay in the mud, after a while, it just gets more opaque, and then when you go in the water, it just goes down, and that affects the alpha value. Also, yeah, I was kind of right. It's not really sophisticated, not really. Basically, wherever the triangles collide, it just creates more triangles at that point. You can see, I guess, those areas in the middle just happen to not collide with it at all. You can sort of tell because, I mean, in real life, only those tires would be making tire tracks. It wouldn't be making big gaps like this. So, I mean, what do you expect? You can't expect a game like this, especially just, just a tech indie demo on Game Jolt made in Unity to look ultra realistic, but it still looks really cool for what it's worth. Also, check this out. Oh, look at that. I think you can actually see distortion in the water. Actually, not really. I don't think you can see distortion in the water from the truck. I think it's mostly just the water itself moving. Let's see what happens if I stop moving. Okay, there's what happens when you're not doing anything, and here's what happens when you're actually moving. Yeah, I don't think it actually distorts the water. But that's okay. The water distorts pretty well on its own. I don't know if that's just a normal map or not. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's just a normal map. But, either way, it looks pretty impressive. Oh, what's over here? Let me guess. More... Oh, you can... Wow. There's actual collision here? This is one of those things you would hope wouldn't have collision on them. Especially the fence, because it just makes it incredibly easy for you to get stuck. Okay, I guess I'll just have to restart it again. Give me a sec. And we are back in the saddle. This time I'm going full speed ahead. I'm trying to get back to that spot as quickly as possible. I'm not gonna diddly-daddle. Yes, that is a nice effect, but we have a goal to accomplish. I just have to cross the river and through the woods to grandmother's house I go. Not really, but hey, what is on the other side here? I wonder how... Oh. Did I hit the end of the world already? That didn't take long, did it? It was a nice tech demo, you gotta give it that much. Maybe I should play another tech demo. I mean, this obviously isn't big enough to make a video out of itself with. I mean, even though I lowered the actual amount of the videos so that I could do more of them, I mean, I usually do it in like 30 minutes or so. This isn't enough. Maybe I'll just look up tech demo on Game Jolt and see what else I can find. For what it's worth, it is a very nice effect. I mean, if you're playing a game, probably an off-road game, an off-road racing game, that they would want to use deformation, I mean, it might be worth it. It looks pretty good. You could probably make something on your own if you could just, fix it so that the triangles deform themselves as the truck gets near them, and then you've got enough of them to actually deform properly. You could probably do that. I mean, this is just a subdivider. I'm pretty sure that's all it is. It's a subdivided surface that moves itself as the truck gets near it, so it looks like there's more than it actually is. But it is a really nice effect nonetheless, and I mean, if you needed an effect that badly, I can't imagine I would need it for any of the games I'm making. But, if you're one of those people who could actually stand to benefit from something like this, I mean, I guess I could recommend it. Alright, hang on a sec. I'm going to try to find another tech demo. After I see how far the limits of this goes, actually. How far are the limits? Oh, I hit the end of the world. Oh no! Well, that's a good place to end it out on. Now you can see the whole map. More or less. Alright, give me a sec. I'm going to find something else. Alright, this works. Apparently someone is trying to prototype, was trying to prototype Doom in the Unity engine, which is funny because I was sort of trying to make my own. Not really as an end goal, but I was thinking that if I could learn how Doom works and replicate it with perfection, or as close to perfection as I possibly could, that I would then be able to use it as a base to build my own kind of classic 90s-ish FPS on top of, if that makes any sense. But anyway, let's check this out. Looks pretty interesting so far. Obviously, it's more advanced than mine at the moment, because his enemies actually move around. Okay, they do attack you, so that places them above mine, at least for now. Yeah, good lighting effects. I mean, he's obviously using high-res textures. I used regular Doom textures, but I did add normal mapping and specular mapping and the like onto them, so there's that. That's interesting. You could just have the material change. That would be more effective than just making it light up. I mean, you could do both. You could have it change the texture so that it does that, and then also do that. Interesting solution for the slime there. I just used the regular Unity water asset and then had it green. It seems this guy took a static texture and simply had it moving around with the polygons, which looks really nice, don't get me wrong. It's just a different solution than what I went for. Wow, the These are all completely off base to where they were in the original. Like, this is 7. This is 3. 4. Let's do it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do those sound like they're in the proper order? Not really. Okay, you can kind of do it like that, so. Too bad you can't jump, though. I know you can't jump in the original Doom, so I guess it wasn't going for that, but still, it would have been nice. Just saying. Okay, secret is revealed. That's cool. Are you just do you just have 4 more humans throughout the entirety of it? I mean, nothing wrong with that, but it would have been nicer if you could have included imps. Because while my enemies don't do anything as of right now, as of this recording, that'll probably change. In fact, it could change before this thing even uploads, but I mean, I did include shotgun guys and imps, and they die when you shoot them, and they have different health. Like I said, they just don't do anything yet, which I will rectify. I'm planning on it. Hopefully I can get some kind of ray casting to work. If not, I may just have to use projectiles, which seems to be my cop-out for everything. Also, can you actually use that lift like you can in the original? Because with mine, I just decided to F it and just made it a door that you hit use on. Maybe this person actually has it more advanced than me. Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. It's pretty much the same. Except you opted... What the world? Okay. Got a little bit of a bug there. Maybe you should have opted for collusion constant. Or something. Maybe you should have opted for continuous instead of discrete. I don't know. Somehow the collision just wasn't up to par with that. Okay, let's try this again. Wait a minute, it's no longer recognizing it. What the heck? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, there we go. Unfortunately, the cursor is now unlocked, so now when I move, it's going to move the actual cursor, which could allow me to potentially do it off screen, so that's too bad. But still, let me just check out a little bit more of this. I haven't even tried to exit the level. Mine doesn't have an exit yet, but maybe this guy's does. Went out of bounds. By the way, pro tip: you do know that there is a function that you can use for Unity, so that once the window is enabled, you can relock the cursor. That's what I did. I did that for Capitalist Chaos. For those of you who didn't notice, you can't actually go back into the game. I mean, you can't relock. It relocks the cursor automatically when you go off the window, unless you're in the pause menu. I did check. I did have a variable if paused that occurs if the pause menu is enabled. That basically stops you from moving, and it stops it from relocking the cursor. So there is that. But other than that, I had that much figured out. So yeah, in some ways this is more advanced than mine, obviously, since it has mostly the fact that it's working enemies. That's mostly the one thing that is more advanced than mine. I'll give you that. I'll say you have a light for the switch. I don't currently have anything for that. I plan to just have it change the texture, but I mean, I could okay. And custom states for the enemies depending on what you use to kill them with. That also places it sort of above mine in the visual department. And you could argue that this looks nicer than just having an animated texture. You know, it just depends on your preference. But, you know, I think it's a mixed bag. I think I could potentially make mine better, but that's mostly because this person, the one or ones who are working or was working on this, is no longer working on this, or at least at the time. Oh, okay, it just restarts the level. That's cool. That's cool. Also, you've got weapon bobbing. I just noticed that. I could probably make that happen. I would just have to script it, because I don't think the two animations would be able to get on top of each other, unless they can, but I'm not sure that's possible. But anyway, I'm sure Unity has something for it. I just don't know what it is. I think it's a blend tree or something. I'll have to look that up later on. But anyway, yeah, mostly the slime, the functioning enemies. Also, your mug face has an angry face. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know if it has a "you found a weapon" face. I'll have to check that out right now. Let's see if you got that. Okay, no, you don't got that. But you do have an angry face, so that puts you above mine. I did add a mug face in a more recent update, but he pretty much just looks around in a fixed interval, and depending on your health, that determines the actual state. So I don't have an angry face yet, but I will include one. I'll just have it trigger it for when, I'll just have a bool for the animated. I'll have a bool for the animated state, and that'll determine, if angry, which should work. Actually, I should probably check if there are different states. I mean, if so, that would place your mug face above mine. If not, well, I guess it would just depend, because mine also has health states, so that would be a factor. Let me just check that out real quick. I know it seems like I'm doing the same things over and over again, but I just want to check out all the nuances of this. See how it stacks up to mine. Also, yours doesn't have a pulsing light, or does it? It sort of does. It just flickers on and off. Mine is animated, so it's more like the original Doom. But different strokes for different folks, I guess. I guess that's just a preference. Wait a minute, did I grab a soul sphere? I grabbed a soul sphere, I think. I gotta quit doing that. Is there a rocket? Okay, there we go. Maybe I could hurt myself with this. Where do I go? What the heck? I just grabbed the rocket launcher and won't switch to it. Okay, I just switched to a rocket launcher again. Well, my bad. This time I'm not going to pick anything up. I'm just going to go straight out there and see if that does anything. Or I could just shoot the barrels and maybe that'll work. Oh, okay, good. You do have different states, so... Okay. You don't have any options for restarting it, unfortunately, though, so that's kind of detracting a point from that. But, other than that, your HUD face is better than mine. I've got the different states, I just don't have the angry face, so... Bravo! You've bested me on that count. And I gotta restart it because, unfortunately, one thing that mine is above this is mine actually lets you restart when you die if you hit a certain button. So, that is a different thing. Say, is it even registering it? So, not bad. If the guy ever gets back to it, I would recommend it. It looks very promising so far. I mean, so far, overall, I'd say it's better than mine simply because it has functioning enemies. For the moment. At the moment, it's better than mine. Also, the weapons are more functional because for some reason, when I try to instantiate things, Unity doesn't want to instantiate it exactly where they're supposed to be. It instantiates them above the camera for some reason. So, in that sense, you've got mine bested. But, other than that, it's probably neck and neck. Oh, there's the rocket launcher. Let's see what happens if I hit... Okay. That does work. Oh, now I can actually test this. Okay, you got the bloody nose. Let's see what... Okay. The states occur a little too early. You're not supposed to do it exactly at 40 and 60 and 80, but, I guess that's no big deal. It's just a stylistic choice. Also, I noticed that this guy uses the chain gun. The minigun that's, I think Z-Doom actually introduced that, I'm not sure. But it's a minigun, it's not the vanilla Doom, obviously. It adds a second one, so it looks more like a minigun. And it obviously adds a handle, and you can see Doom Guy's hand, but, that's a thing. And obviously it has high-res textures, but... Okay. My evaluation is it's very functional. It's just, it's got a very nasty bug when you do the lifts. I think I used to have that bug too. I forgot how I fixed that. I think I fixed that by making the collision be more scrutinizing. Like instead of discrete, it's continuous. Or maybe that was just on the player, so it constantly detects it. But yeah, discrete is not enough if something is moving fast. If something is moving fast, you want to use continuous because Unity, I think with discrete, it only checks every frame. So if something is moving faster per frame, like say you've got a bullet or something, like say this projectile moves faster, like say between one frame it goes from here to all the way back there, it won't check the collision, so it'll just go right through it. That's the only unfortunate thing about discrete. It's easier on the actual hardware, but it's not as accurate, so that's a flaw. With faster moving things, you want to use continuous, and preferably continuous dynamic if, it's dynamically adjusting itself. But that's enough of my babbling. That's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Make sure to spread this video around like the BFG 9000. And I will see you next time. Now go out there and capitalize on life. Peace out, have a good one, and have a nice and pleasant day.